I remember a few years ago when I had to make one of the biggest decisions of my life, and that was to quit my 9 to 5. And I'm gonna be real with you, I was very, very scared. But a few years down the line now, I am making £10,000 plus every single month. But it didn't happen overnight. I'm not here to sell you a dream. In this video, I am going to share with you exactly what process I went by to quit my 9 to 5 and then being able to make £10,000 plus every single month. Now, I'm gonna be taking you a few years back, and this was probably one of the most difficult times of my life. I was working a 9 to 5, and honestly, it drained me physically, mentally, and financially. And it sounds weird because I'm working a job, surely my money should be up, right? But instead, it was actually doing the opposite. I was basically working every single day, coming home, and it was horrible. Honestly, it was really, really bad. I didn't have time for myself, and it was really, really a hard time for me because I knew that this 9 to 5 wasn't for me, and I knew that there's more to my life than just this 9 to 5. But it was just a very, very difficult situation for me because I didn't know what else to do. I didn't have the financial backing to say, okay, I want to quit. I didn't have that confidence to quit this 9 to 5. And you know that feeling when like you're going to work and you know in the back of your head, this is not your future goal. You know, this is not something that you want to do for the rest of your life. And so that was me. I used to always come to work, and honestly, like I genuinely didn't enjoy it because I didn't want to be there. And the worst thing for me was that I'm working a job and I'm doing so much work, and the money that I'm getting is just enough for me to get food, pay my bills, pay rent, and that's pretty much it. I couldn't go holiday, I couldn't enjoy, I couldn't get new clothes, and it wasn't a thing where that's what I wanted to do in life, but it was a thing where I couldn't even do anything outside of work. I couldn't start up a business. I couldn't do anything because I genuinely didn't have time. And I know people say, yeah, when you have a 9 to 5, you genuinely have time. But the thing is, when you're working a 9 to 5 that drains you, bro, time does not exist. Like you'll be coming home, and I remember this, like I used to come home thinking, okay, cool, I'm gonna start something, I'm gonna do a YouTube video, I'm gonna trade, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do, and I would come home and I wouldn't do it. And it was tough. It was very, very tough. And I think what made it worse is that when I came home, I wanted to do these things. I wanted to go to the gym, I wanted to make money in the markets, I wanted to make videos for myself, and I couldn't. And so it was just a snowball effect because I couldn't do the things I want to do. I couldn't leave the 9 to 5 because I don't have any financial backing. And it just became a thing where I had to change something. I had to change the way I was living. I had to change the way my lifestyle was getting, especially living in the UK. Like, I don't know if you guys are from the UK, but living in the UK is really, really difficult when you're working an average job, when you're working like a normal person and you have a normal house and you're doing normal things. And the thing is with the UK laws and taxes and the way inflation's going, it was like my margin of like making money and spending money was so tight. It's like I was basically living paycheck to paycheck, which is like the worst thing ever. And it's so funny because I remember before I started my 9 to 5, I said to myself, I won't be living paycheck to paycheck. I'm going to be saving. I am going to be accumulating some sort of money. And then once I'm out of this 9 to 5, I'll have money and I can invest it into something. And funny enough, that didn't happen. Like that just didn't happen. I don't know why it didn't happen. I'm usually on top of my finances. I'm top of my savings and stuff like that. But honestly, that just was not happening. And even that little bit of money that I was putting into trading accounts, funded accounts, I wasn't able to put 100% effort in because I didn't have the energy, because I just felt like, what's going on with life? I just wasn't happy at that moment. And every time I looked at my bank account, and especially on payday, which is the worst day for me, because a few days before payday, I'll be anticipating, yes, payday, great. And then as soon as payday happens and all the bills go away, and I'm like, why am I broke? Like, I've just been paid. Why don't I have money? And so that was really, really the most horrible feeling that I could ever have in my life. And you know what? I am grateful that I had a 9 to 5. I am grateful that I was able to survive and live during that period. But honestly, like I was just tired and I was done with whatever I was happening, because deep down, like I knew I don't want to live like this forever. Deep down, like in my heart, I knew that this is something that I don't want to do. I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to live where my profit and my expenses are so tight, right? And that's when I really decided to commit and trade seriously. And listen, if you're in that space right now where you're feeling stuck and you know that this job is not for you and you know you got so much more in you, I get it, okay? That's why I'm running a 3-day masterclass. This 3-day masterclass is completely free. I'll be coaching you one-to-one. I'll be answering every single question that you have, and I'll be auditing and sharing all the information that I have, that I've learned in the past 5 years, to you in these next 3 days. If you're serious about being consistent and eventually becoming a full-time day trader, click the link in the description. It's the first link. Fill in the form. It takes 30 seconds. And we're not accepting every single student. mind, we're only accepting the people that are genuine and who want to become consistent and want to be successful in the market. So once you qualify, you'll get to be part of the 3-day masterclass. I think what was one of the hardest things to juggle was the 9 to 5 and the trading lifestyle. The reason why it was so difficult is because my 9 to 5 is pretty much in the middle of the day, right? Got London session, got New York session. And honestly, it was very, very difficult to handle. There was times where I genuinely had to wake up early. There was times where I was sleeping late. And I think I had that sweet spot when I used to wake up at 5 in the morning because no one else is awake. And I would literally just look at the markets and catch that pre-London move. And it wasn't the best, I'll be honest with you. It wasn't the greatest, but it was enough for me to understand and learn the markets. And it was enough for me to say, okay, cool, I actually can make data. I can create data out of the money that I have, and I can trade and make, even if it's £1 or £2, it was enough for me to say, okay, you know what, this is something, this is progress. It's better than not trading. It's better than just living that continuous cycle of that 9 to 5. And so I was balancing this job, which was draining me, but then I also made sure that working 9 to 5 isn't my go-to, and I had to maintain the trading. And so I realized that, you know what, I'm gonna have to get rid of this money thing. I need to get rid of this dream and aspirations of money at the moment. Money is the end goal. The dreams are the end goal. But for now, we have to reverse engineer. For now, we have to understand, is trading even something that I can do? Is it something that I can prove to myself that, look, I'm doing really, really well in trading and I can quit this job? Like, that was all I wanted. I didn't care about the money. I didn't care how much I was making in the markets. All I cared about is, can I be consistent enough to prove to myself that I can quit this 9 to 5? Because the last thing I want to do is quit this 9 to 5 and then I'm figuring things out. And I think that's where I honestly had the best leverage in my life, was knowing that, cool, my job is going to be paying me regardless every single month. I can take a little bit of a risk in trading and I can, you know, go all out on trading and see what happens. And so I literally used to tell myself, like, don't focus on the profit, don't focus on the money, just focus on being consistent. And it was very, very difficult to like wire my brain into that, because you got to also remember, like, I'm still working this 9 to 5. I'm still getting drained. I'm still mentally and physically not there. And so I think that's where 5 a.m. was like my sweet spot, because I am doing everything in the morning. Before my 9 to 5, I'm pumped, I'm energized. And then during that 9 to 5, I'm drained. And then when I come home, I'm literally pretty much eating food, hitting the gym and going to bed. And that was kind of like my lifestyle for like a few months until I really started to pick up pace. And that's when I really found out that once you rewire your mind, once you tell yourself that, cool, money isn't the goal right now, it's just consistency. That's when I actually built the foundation that I use literally right now. After 6 months of getting consistent results, I left my job. Yes, it was risky. Yes, it was too soon. Most people say that, but honestly, my gut instincts told me, like, this is it. And I genuinely believe that after those 6 months of struggling and after those 6 months of really being consistent and proving to myself, I thought to myself, you know what, it's only right that I just leave this job and go full time. And that's what I did. I believed in myself. I stuck with it. I spoke to people around me and they all said the same thing. And honestly, I think what was really, really great in that moment of time was I had the support around me. Now, I know most of you probably don't have that support and you probably don't have that courage to do it. And so that's why I also have a community where we support each other when we're making these decisions. At the time, I was pretty fortunate. I actually had that support around me. But if you don't have that support, click the link in the description below. I have a free community where you can join and you can share your thoughts with other people and share your story, and people will support you. And so that was the crucial moment for me where I wanted to do it. And at first, I'm gonna be real, it was amazing. I left that job. I told the manager, listen, I'm not coming in tomorrow. I'm gonna go and pursue my dreams. And at first, I think I had that adrenaline. I think I had that runner's high, and I was like, amazing. Like, I don't work a job no more. Like, I literally woke up. I remember waking up the next day and I was like, wow, like I'm waking up and I can literally do whatever I want. That's where I really had to knuckle down. And that's where I really started to see myself not only break through and become super free in life, but also be able to see money that I've never seen before, being able to have that faith in myself. And I was really proud of myself at that moment of time. And then it got to a point where I didn't reminisce on the old stuff and the past. I just kept going. And I do that now. Like, I don't think about past as much. I just kind of always, okay, what's next? What am I focused on the next? Okay, how am I going to improve this? How am I going to improve that? And I'm always trying to do better than I was yesterday. And I think that's the mindset that really got me to not only quitting my 9 to 5, but being able to be consistent. And I think that's where I really saw myself break through and have that freedom. Now, I'm not here to show off and tell you that, look, I did this and this is amazing. I'm here to show you that this is a proof of concept. Like, this stuff is real. This is not a fake lifestyle lifestyle. This is not fake. I didn't just quit my 9 to 5 and suddenly become profitable. Like, this was a process. And honestly, like, for this process and trading, I'm really grateful for it. And that's why I want to show you guys and show you that this is possible. Like, this is real. A few years back, I didn't even know if trading is going to be real. I didn't know if trading is actually going to pay my bills and pay for my life. And now it's got to the point where trading not only did that, but it's given me freedom. It didn't just come without struggle. Like, I did struggle during the process, but honestly, it was totally worth it. It was way better than working that 9 to 5. It was way better than waking up and joining my work and speaking to my managers and speaking to my colleagues. Like, it's way better than that. And that's why, like, if you're serious, you need to stay locked in. You have to make it work, and you need to stop chasing the hype. Like, you need to stop thinking about the dreams and stop thinking about the end goal. Focus on the now, focus on showing up daily, and the rest will come. Now, if you're ready to actually build that consistency and change your life, make sure you fill out the form. It's completely free. It takes like 30 seconds to join the masterclass, where I'll share you everything that I've learned in the past 5 years in those 3 days. And other than that, guys, I will see you in the next video.